perfect balance of emotional connection and dance floor capability, artists like Riordan Obscure utilizing these bright filtered synth pluck and leads paired with catchy vocals with driving house drums constructed underneath. We have built a track in the style of Riordan's massive new release, Best Be Believin'. Let's get into this. So what I've done with the hats, we've just got standard positions. They're completely on the grid. First one being slightly quieter. Then what we've done here as well is we've got a hat playing on the second, which is actually pitched down a fifth. And then that just adds very subtle different differentiation. And then in terms of the ghost hats, you can copy these positions, but we've got one on the second with a massive amount of swing on that, one on the eighth, and then that pattern repeats, and that gives us this. And then we've got these support hat loops up here. Put a massive effort into the second kit. Everyone was saying you want more top loops, and this layered over the top just does a lot of the processing that we'd need to do on this initial hat. Also gives us a layer on the snare. We listen to our snare here with this. And then we have this kind of like a shaker loop, and that's just underneath, just gluing everything together and just helping everything drive. This bass is the Babbling bass preset in Fem Bass, so really nice bass. This is what we've done with this. So we've just cut any unnecessary rumble out. We've already got enough presence in our sub frequencies to actually separate and make a sub and our mid bass. So we've actually just run this how it is. Just cut this here, stop these frequencies clashing with our synth, which is occupying this area. So playing that with the drums, it's working really nice with this Riordan kick drum. Absolutely love this melody. If it wasn't for this vocal, probably the vocal wouldn't even be needed. This synth is just so key, like it just has those obscure vibes. As you can see, it's from the Korg MS-20. I cannot remember the exact preset. I'm still trying to find it myself. And then what we've done for the processing is we've done a pretty sharp cut here just to cut everything out that's going to be clashing with our bass. And then what we've done, we've automated this, so in the sections where there's no bass, this actually comes out, so you have that low end within this. And we have a bit of Studio D chorus, RC20 with some crunch, which I find really thickens up the sound, and then a little bit of C4 in this area here, high mids and the mids, just to sort of tame that those harsh frequencies. And then on our send bus, I think we have a soft clipper. And then if you hear it with the bass, as you can hear, it's working pretty well, and then all our low end comes back in. So you've got all of that low end within there, and then it cuts out here. And I heard this vocal, and I'm pretty sure this is in some, like, I don't know if I'm mixing up a sample, but I'm pretty sure this was in some like Norwegian folk song. Honestly, if you want samples, this is your website, right? This is the source right here. Go into here, and what I usually do is I go into the style. You can see I've got all of these house and hip hop styles, and then you just click apply, and then you can go through and search the whole industry of tracks, the whole everything in those styles. But sometimes the best things I find is just completely random, but you are going to be there for a while and you are going to go through a lot of rubbish. In these sorts of tracks, I always add these white noise downers, and then I duplicate that, right click, reverse it, and that just adds a bit of texture into our drops. And then I support each of the section progressing with just 1 bars at the end and then 4 bars. You can see here that the grid's a bit confusing because obviously we started off with this intro bit here. That's why it looks like it's off. And then yeah, in terms of the drop, we have these builds which are going to be in Frontline 2.0. Oh, okay, and we have a reverse of the actual synth melody that goes into our synth on the drop. Absolute brilliant thing to do. And what you can do is you can do this with a vocal as well. Precisely why I've got that duplicated there, because I would have been testing out a vocal riser, so I can delete that. In terms of the automation on the vocals, we have Endless Smile, which is like loads of effects in one knob, like reverb and choruses. That just helps that progress into the drop. And then we've got some filtering on these chops of the drop of the vocal. So that just gives it that underwater sound effect, and we've used Love Filter for that. Same with the synth, we've got Love Filter Mix and then Love Filter, the actual cutoff frequency to actually move the cutoff filter. And then we've got Endless Smile again, and then we've got the Pro Q3. And then arrangement, we've gone for what Obscure have done, where they've just gone for this tiny little 2-bar intro section, which sounds like this. Little like roll in almost, synths filtering in and the drums filtering in, and then we go straight into the main attraction, which is the vocal. So we have this build up here, then we have our drop, then we go into this second section where I've done some chops of the vocals, and this is where we let the synth shine. And we have this, sorry, I completely missed this lead section out. Awesome breakdown section which just gives everyone a break in the moment. The crowd can reset. And that gets the crowd primed up, ready. And then once that sort of section's developed into this, then the vocal comes out and we start bringing in some drums and stuff to help this and this perk build here. Got that little drop out there. We tried a fake here, but it's just better with this drop out, and it comes out and we let our synth fine a bit more, and we just chop the vocal and have that filtered, and then it comes out 312. It's a really nice sort of point to end. I realized I didn't even put my glasses on for any of that, but yeah. Oh my days, I'm gonna have to put this fan on. It's absolutely ridiculous in here. It's 30 degrees outside. Oh, that fan. Yeah, that's probably really loud, but I need that on right now. It's absolutely boiling. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Love to everyone supporting and subscribing. It means the world to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.
LTD, we love to drill way back, fell in love with the stainless steel. Pack on, EIG and a V come peng, just like me.